Multi-generational travel, where several generations of a family take a trip together, is one of the fastest growing segments of the travel industry. We just did it with our family and had an absolutely amazing time.
We chose a Mediterranean cruise out of Rome on Royal Caribbean that included stops in places we had already visited, but which the family had not. There were 9 of us, oldest son Clay and his wife Nikki, and their 3 children, Cooper, 13, Nora, 9, and Harrison, 7, and youngest son Zach and his wife Eunice.
We drove to Chicago from Indy for a non-stop flight to Rome and went in 3 days before the cruise to have the opportunity to visit all that Rome has to offer, which is an astounding amount. Rome is one of our favorite cities to visit. It's huge with iconic sites that have stood for thousands of years, and at the same time, it has neighborhoods that are quaint and quiet.
Our hotel was in a quiet neighborhood just steps from the Pantheon, which 2,000 years after its construction still has the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world, and there's an Oculus in the center. We finished our first day with a pizza making class that was lots of fun for everyone.
The next day was a marathon. We started with a tour of the Roman Forum, and directly across from it, the most iconic landmark of all, the Roman Colosseum. We took a tour that allowed us to walk on the reconstructed floor, giving us the view that gladiators would have had. Goosebumps. Next, we traveled across town to visit the Vatican, Sistine Chapel, and St. Peter's. Of course, we had to visit the Trevi Fountain, Piazza Navona, and dine on authentic Italian cuisine.
Our last full day in Rome, it was up early to catch a high-speed train to Naples, where we were met for a tour of Pompeii, one of our favorite archaeological sites in the world. Pompeii was destroyed when it was covered in ash from the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. But at the same time, the city was preserved by that ash. It's like taking a journey back in time, as you can walk into the actual homes of people who lived 2,000 years ago and can still see the colorful frescoes on the walls. The cobblestone streets still have the marks of the chariots that drove on them, and you can visit ancient takeout restaurants complete with pizza ovens. It is absolutely amazing.
We loved Rome, but now it was time to sail. The grandkids had never been on a cruise ship before, and this one was loaded with fun things to do. It had a huge arcade area, climbing wall that the kids took full advantage of, bumper cars, and something called North Star, which is sort of a pod you go up in to get a high view of the ship and surrounding areas. Then there was the skydiving simulator called Ripcord. You had to go through some training and get geared up, and then it was your full minute of flying high. It was pretty exciting.
Dinners on board were great fun too, and the grandchildren loved being able to order anything they wanted. They also loved our waiter.
Our stops on this cruise included Santorini, which was a bit crowded, but as gorgeous as we remembered it. Pictures you usually see of Greece with blue-domed white buildings are of the town of Oia on Santorini, and it is picture perfect. This time we ventured all over the island and even caught a gorgeous sunset.
Next stop, Kusadasi, Turkey, to visit the ancient city of Ephesus, which is another amazing archaeological site and famous for its library facade, not to mention large amphitheater. Unfortunately, it was over 100 degrees that day.
The beautiful Greek island of Crete was next, followed by Naples, where we visited the stunning Amalfi Coast. Starting in Sorrento, a charming city that is the gateway to the Amalfi Coast, we drove down to Positano for a visit, then stopped for lunch with an amazing view before heading to the town of Amalfi. The Amalfi Coast is so beautiful that words and pictures cannot do it justice.
The next morning, we were back in Rome with our journey at an end. John and I have taken more than 100 trips together and have visited all these places before, but this is one of our all-time favorite trips. I so love seeing it all with my whole family.
Multi-generational travel on a cruise is a great way to bond with your family and see great sights together. For Great Day TV, we're Ann and John.